I know we've been down this route many times over the last couple of months. It seems like every other week at this point, there's a new breaking development in the war between Iran and the United States. It seems like any minute now there is going to be an agreement reached. I get we've talked about this many times now, and I'm hoping that this is finally the last time we ever have to talk about speculation surrounding this agreement. But it does seem like, compared to the last couple of months, this is the most legitimate chance we have to end the war with Iran. Now, like I said many times before, we know by now that it's not a guaranteed thing. We know that there's still a chance this deal could fall through, nothing happens, we're back to square one. But it does feel different this time around. It really feels like we're actually going to get the deal done. Maybe not by tomorrow, like Axios and a few other outlets are reporting. Maybe it takes a little bit longer. Either way, it does really seem like this conflict is finally going to end. Now, like I said before, this is not a guaranteed thing. This is not a guaranteed thing that by the end of tomorrow or in a couple of days, this thing is officially signed. Until both sides actually sign this piece of paper, this still is going on. We still have not reached an official agreement as of now. But the more you hear about what's actually going on right now, it does seem like, hey, maybe tomorrow on Trump's birthday, of course, maybe they actually get this done. Maybe they actually sign this piece of paper and we can finally move on from this conflict. The US and Iran, together with Pakistani and Qatari mediators, are expected to hold a virtual meeting on Sunday and electronically sign a memorandum of understanding that will extend the ceasefire by 60 days, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and launch negotiations over Iran's nuclear program. The pending remote signing is the result of almost 3 months of negotiations between the US and the Iranian regime, mediated by Pakistan, Qatar, Egypt, and Turkey. The MOU is expected to end the war in the region and potentially stabilize global energy markets. So, yeah, let's be clear about this. This agreement that's about to be signed allegedly, again, we've heard this many times before, but we'll get to why it does feel different this time. This is going to end the conflict. There are still some major issues they're trying to resolve, mostly as it pertains to Iran's nuclear program. But allegedly, they've kind of agreed on the major points that, hey, we will get rid of some of this enriched material and we'll scale back our program. That's what some people are reporting. Now, is that a guaranteed thing that they agreed to? Maybe not. But the more you hear about this, there are still some details we don't know for sure, especially as it relates to stuff like the sanction relief. How is that going to work? Because that's kind of one of the bigger issues for Iran. They want sanction relief. And according to what people are saying, it sounds like the only way they get this sanction relief is if they actually adhere to the agreement. They have to actually adhere to the agreement, and then we'll unfreeze some of these assets, which is just common sense. I don't get why we would unfreeze their stuff beforehand, because you know damn well the millisecond we unfreeze their assets, they would break every single agreement. That's just Iran. They'll pull a stunt and say, yeah, you give us our money and we'll stop with our program. And then immediately turn around and use the money to build more shit. That's Iran. But it sounds like the only way we're ever going to give up these assets is if they actually agree and adhere to this agreement. So that's what's being allegedly said. That's what senior officials are telling sources across the board. They're telling News Nation, Fox News, all these outlets, they're kind of reporting the same stuff. This is what the agreement is. And now you have the Prime Minister of Pakistan saying that within the next 24 hours, it's likely this document is finalized. This seems more legit than other times, because the last couple of times we heard that a a deal is going to happen very soon, most of the time, they just say in a vague sense that it might happen next weekend or in a couple of months. Here, we're seeing multiple outlets, and now the Prime Minister of Pakistan saying within the next 24 hours, we are most likely going to have this deal fully done. It's going to happen. That's what they're saying. Now, even President Trump is saying the same thing. Now, again, he says stuff all the time. He says stuff that may not happen. But according to President Trump, which he is saying right here, the deal is scheduled to get signed tomorrow. And immediately after it's signed, the Strait of Hormuz is open to all. Does this sound like a vague sense of it might happen in 5 seconds but it may actually happen in 2 months? No. It does sound like they actually believe they have some kind of agreement here. The Prime Minister of Pakistan is saying it. President Trump, all these outlets, all these top officials, they're all saying the same thing. Now, of course, Iran is going to deny most of it. They already are, kind of. But even Iran is kind of admitting they're close to a deal. Yeah, they're denying the idea of it being signed tomorrow, but they're saying that it could actually happen in the coming days. But they're saying it's not going to happen tomorrow. Huh, that's kind of weird, isn't it? They're not denying it's going to happen. They're just saying, oh, well, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but it might happen a couple of days. So both sides are basically saying they have some kind of agreement. They may actually have something ready. It sounds like just a matter of finalization, some final details about what's going to be in this agreement, what they're going to talk about in a couple of days. That is what sounds like is happening. When even Iran is admitting, yeah, we could actually sign this agreement in a couple of days, but oh, not going to happen tomorrow. We don't know. We don't know, of course. Maybe they're telling the truth. They say, yeah, no, we're not going to sign anything. At the last second, we're going to pull out of the agreement and we're back to square one. That can happen. Like I've said many times before, we are talking about Iran. They pulled this stunt several times over the last couple of months. But this time, it just feels different. When everybody is saying the same thing, even Iran. I know some people are denying it. I know some of their top officials, they're just trying to spin it and say, oh, it's a surrender by the US, and they're attacking some points of it. But you read in between the lines, does this sound like they're completely denying a deal's going to happen? They might criticize some parts of it. Sure, they actually are already. There are some officials attacking them. You have state media saying, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen whatsoever. There's no signing. It's a bad deal. But then immediately say, well, it could still happen. I don't know what to say. I do believe right now, though, this is the closest we've come to a deal. I just think that we are closer to a peace deal than ever before. Like the Prime Minister of Pakistan said, like President Trump said, like all these top officials, they're all saying the same thing. Beforehand, they were never saying any of this. They were never saying any of this whatsoever. And it might happen tomorrow. Maybe it doesn't. But I am believing that maybe it happens in a couple of days. Maybe it happens in the next week. It just, this time, it's just the more you look at it, could you say it's, oh, bullshit? Yeah. You could say maybe Trump's playing games, but why would the Prime Minister of Pakistan say the same thing? Or all these top officials on both sides kind of alluding to the same outcome. And President Trump then said, at the appropriate time, when all is calm, we'll go in and get the nuclear dust, buried deep under the powerful sunken granite mountains, thanks to our beautiful B-2 bombers and their brilliant pilots, and down blend and destroy it, whether in Iran or the US. So yeah, Trump is kind of given a detailed, of course, a generic response for what he wants. He wants to destroy this nuclear dust. Whether they destroy it in Iran or in America, they don't really know. They don't really know for sure, but that's kind of what he wants to do, obviously. That's been his main goal all along. And like it says right here, US officials and sources in the mediating countries confirmed that the signing will take place virtually and claimed it is mainly for logistical reasons. Yeah, no shit. There's no way in hell they're going to have Vance and the top Iran official, whoever it is, be in the same room together. That's never going to happen. But like, you have all these people say the same thing. Qatar is saying the same thing. Pakistan, Egypt, Turkey, American officials, even Iranian officials are saying kind of the same thing. They have some kind of virtual meeting happening tomorrow. Maybe it's not a signing. Maybe it's still more negotiation. Fine. But usually in the last couple months, it's been vague. We might have a deal soon. Here it's we are going to sign tomorrow. We have a virtual meeting. We are more than likely going to sign this agreement. We'll see. We shall see what happens in the next couple of days. Maybe it gets signed tomorrow. Maybe it doesn't. We won't know for sure until it actually happens. Of course, this is a very unique situation. But I just find it hard to believe that all these top officials in all these countries, not just in America, if it was just America saying this, fine. But when it's top leaders in Egypt, Qatar, the UAE, everywhere, Pakistan, and now even some European countries, they're starting to talk about this. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels more legitimate than the last couple of times. It feels like they have something. Maybe they didn't agree to everything just yet, but this is more of a memorandum. Maybe they just agreed to stop the nonsense, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and in the next couple of weeks, figure out the final details. Maybe that's what they're agreeing to. Maybe that's how Iran can spin this. Oh, we did not surrender just yet. This is just more negotiating bullshit. I know it's a very bizarre situation here since Iran is just a whacked out country, but man, I don't know what else to say. The more you read into this, it just does not sound like complete nonsense. It doesn't sound like just Trump playing games and saying, "Oh, yeah, we have an agreement reached, and yeah, you have 5 seconds to sign it," which he did kind of say. If they don't actually adhere to the agreement, they're gonna blow them. They're gonna blow them up, of course. But when all these other officials, all these other countries are saying the same damn thing, they're all involved in these meetings. They're all saying, "Yeah, Sunday morning, there's a virtual meeting. They're gonna sign a piece of paper." Sounds too specific. Sounds too detailed for it just to be complete horseshit. It really is, I think, a matter of what's actually agreed to. That is a completely different story. We don't know for sure. But if this report is right, which there's been other outlets reporting the same thing, this is a good deal for Trump. This is a big win for him on this front. He got basically everything he wants if they adhere to this, if they actually agree to this. And Iran really got what? Some of their assets back after the fact. It really seems like it's a matter of time now. It seems like it is a matter of time of when, not if this agreement gets signed. And what details are contained in it. Is it everything? Is it just a partial agreement? We'll know for sure by tomorrow. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.